Welcome to the MTD Technical Corner. Today we're going to be discussing iMachining, the revolution in CAM with Ben. Welcome to the MTD Technical Corner, Ben.
Hey, Gio.
iMachining, the revolution in CAM. What is iMachining?
So iMachining is our high-speed roughing strategy. So it's fast metal removal, getting rid of the majority of the stock as fast as we can. So
it's a roughing strategy. Now, I would assume, and please talk us through it, that a lot of the time savings come through roughing, and this is the importance and the main USP of iMachining.
Yeah, a lot of people can concentrate on the finishing strategies and things, but the roughing is the majority of or the bulk of the material that's going to need to be removed. So being able to get that away fast is where you're going to get all your time savings in the job.
So talk us through it in more detail and from a technical perspective.
So iMachining is a sort of a two-stage process. The first stage of it is a morphing toolpath. So you've got obviously a stock shape on the outside, going down to our shape as you can see on here. Yeah, so we morph from the outside shape to the inner, maintaining a constant chip thickness. So not a constant step over, constant chip thickness. So we're constantly varying the speed or the feed rate, should I say, determined by the contact angles as it's cut.
And is this done automatically?
Automatically, yeah. You tell it, so 3D iMachining, as you can see here, we are telling it to cut the entire target wherever there is stock. It is doing all the deep cuts first. You can see full depth of cut using the full flute length, and then it will come up where there's stock left and create a skull on the component.
So this is morph machining?
Morphing, yes, so it's a morphing toolpath. The second stage of iMachining then is the technology wizard. So the wizard then takes in data from the machine tool, so we know the power at the spindle. It takes in all the data from the tool, takes the data from the material, and then it will produce its own depths of cut, speeds, feeds, and all the step overs and contact angles.
This CAM strategy, is it unique to SolidCAM?
It is, yeah. So it was developed by SolidCAM themselves, released back in 2010. So it's been with us for a while. Still, our sort of big focus, our big USP inside SolidCAM is the high-speed iMachining.
So effectively, Ben, this takes care of everything pretty much automatically once you give the machine tool the component details. But what happens if you've not held the component securely, or your tooling is sticking out quite a long way and you might experience some vibration issues?
So the software can account for that. We've got a machining level, so it's the material removal rate. So although iMachining will calculate all these speeds, feeds, depths of cut for you, you've then got a slider bar from 1 to 8 where you can slide down, up and down that scale, which will bring everything. So you keep using still the technology of iMachining, but just slowing everything down a little bit. Still getting all the benefits of sort of tool life, less pressure on the tool, on the spindle, and things like that. Still getting that high material removal rate, just at a sort of reduced rate instead. So if you held it on a casting or held in quite flimsily, for instance, or like you say, a long tool sticking out, the program has got the option to dial that down a little bit.
Okay, so let's start discussing some of the time-saving benefits using iMachining, starting with cycle time reductions. On average, what would you expect a typical cycle time reduction to be using iMachining?
So on average, we're boasting up to 70% cycle time savings. The harder the material, believe it or not, the better it is for iMachining. So you can get up to sort of 90% cycle savings cutting into titaniums and harder steels. But 70% is roughly the sort of average marker that you'll be gaining.
Well, that's massive.
Yeah,
it's game changing effectively.
Big cycle time.
Now, you mentioned cutting tools, we've mentioned cutting tools if they're sticking out a long way to get accessibility or whatever the case may be. How is the cutting tool life longevity increased using iMachining?
Well, it's increased.
And what are the benefits of that financially?
Yeah, so the tool life's increased from the point of view that the cut is a lot nicer, a lot kinder on the on the tool, but you're also using the full flute length as well. So you've paid for all that carbide. Instead of using just a section of it and then creating a notch in the tool where now you can't use the tool again, you've got all of that flute length that you can use, so why not use it all? You can see here full depth of cut, full flute length cutting on
So
there.
is that part of the strategy then, to use the full length of the cutter?
It will, yeah, it will go as deep as it can with the flute length. Obviously this has got a bit more flute length to go, but the depth of the part obviously is not the same length as the flute length. But the idea behind iMachining is get as deep as we can with that tool.
So the engineering or the engineer plays a big part in this by choosing the correct tools for the application. So this is effectively a tool to enhance the productivity for free axis machining.
Yeah, exactly. It's not there to replace the engineer. It's there to give them assistance and a tool to use to increase their productivity and to increase the obviously the efficiency of the tool path, but also tool life on there. So decrease the cost of purchasing new tools. It's better for the machine tools, less pressure on the spindle bearings and things like that as well.
So it also gives your machine tool better longevity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now, Ben, this sounds absolutely fantastic, but for people that may be watching this technical corner and think that it's too good to be true, can you prove to them that it isn't?
We can, yeah, and we often do so. If anybody wants to send us a part or they want us to come in to their facility, we'll happily program a part using iMachining. We'll cut it, we'll run it on a machine. We'll take the challenge and we'll prove to you that we can save you cycle time, but obviously we'll save tool life as well.
Ben, an absolute pleasure. So there you have it, over 70% cycle time savings with the revolutionary iMachining from SolidCAM.